Shep, welcome. How are you guys doing today? Southern Charm season 8. How did we get here?
Wild to be back. It's exciting. It's nerve-wracking, but it's exciting.
Yeah, 8 seasons. Who would have thunk it?
Who would have thunk it? Why is it nerve-wracking to be back, Craig?
Because we really give it our all and we don't know how to censor ourselves, which makes for a great show, but makes for a nerve-wracking experience for us. So,
Yeah, the anticipation. I told Craig before we did this press, like, let's just go on a little preemptive apology tour because people can really, the fans can really get emotionally involved. And, let's just do a little damage control is what I told him.
It's going to be fun though. It's going to be a great season and everyone's going to really enjoy it. It's just intense.
Yeah, there's some intense moments.
And, looking in the mirror isn't always easy. And that's, this show is one big mirror. So, and it was 8 months ago, so like things have changed. And so anyway.
You guys, I agree. The fans could be very harsh. You guys have had to apologize for things before. Do you feel this season 8 was like harsher? You had more to apologize for than usual?
Yes, Craig and I will be.
I don't know why you keep being plural.
Craig, you got in more screaming matches than anybody.
Yeah, no, I yell a lot this year. I'm just kidding with it. But it's, we both are dealing with different chapters than you've seen us in. Shep's in a committed relationship. I am too, but I'm also dealing with my kind of past, basically everything that I've ever swept under the rug with any of the guys or anything we're dealing with. And I don't deal with it great, all the time. So,
and you're dealing with the stress of winter house and summer house. Yeah. Like it's just a never ending. I understand.
Yeah. So it's, and my ex is back in the picture. So Naomie's back. And, I was all for, welcoming her back to Charleston. But as you'll see, as the season goes on, she really jumps back into our group of friends. And so having her around all the time, what people don't realize is there's a reason you broke up. And so like my patience, with stuff with her is just non-existent. So I'm kind of like a powder keg all the time this year.
You were such a proponent for Naomie coming back, as I know a lot of people were. Like, did you ever regret that, like, as you went on in the season? Or
well, of course, as we start the cast trips start, you're just like, this isn't normal to be on a trip with your ex-girlfriend, but it's going to make for a heck of a show. And it was the closure of that story too, because no one really ever knew what happened. She kind of just like pieced out. So yeah.
Well, Shep, so kindly referenced Winter House and Summer House. We do see in the trailer, you both have some issues with Austen. I know Austen didn't have it so easy in the Summer House.
Yeah.
Talk to me about this, what we can expect. No spoilers, but it seems like it got pretty intense with both of you and Austen.
Well, yeah, I wasn't really, at the end of last summer, Austen and I weren't on any terms. I had basically he was on and he'll tell you, he was on a pretty destructive, tour for a couple months there. And I got sucked into his path of destruction and I was angry about it. But we never talked about it, of course. And so this season, you'll see us be forced to confront everything that happened and why, I'm so angry with Austen.
And Austen, truthfully, he and I have never been closer. However, I think this season he saw an opportunity. Well, he wasn't in the spot. His relationship wasn't in the spotlight. Of course, he and Olivia were sort of dancing around each other, but I think he had a lot of pent-up frustration from the past with his relationship with Madison, and he was sort of enjoying me being under the microscope a little bit. So he was sort of poking and prodding, and I finally lost my cool on him towards the end of the season.
Did it add to your guys' nervousness? Taylor was on the show before, and obviously Paige knows what she's doing for Summer House, but was it harder both, Taylor's a full-time cast member now and Paige coming into this group, having your relationships kind of under the microscope with this group?
Yeah. And it's going to happen because that's what's going on in the group. And, the group's going to be talking about it, the other cast members. And you're trying to navigate a minefield essentially. And you sometimes screw that up and it feels like the weight of the world is on your shoulders. And you just hope and pray somehow when the show comes out. That's why we have anxiety, because we don't know, how it's going to look, because it was a long time ago. We don't know what other people are saying behind our backs and stuff like that.
Well, I mean, yeah, filming with the partner is I'm very fortunate that Paige does this for a living. So I was way more relaxed this time having her around. It didn't affect me at all. I was actually excited because we're finally actually dating on a show. But I remember when I brought Naomie into the show, and I didn't I didn't care at all what happened to me, but protecting her is where that stress comes from. And I know he felt it too, of being like, but as he said, you got to learn by fire, and there's nothing you can do that, you can't teach them. So, yeah.
And to your point, you felt less pressure with Paige just because she knew.
Yeah. I didn't feel I don't feel responsible for, because, she chose to do this before meeting me.
It was rough for me and Taylor this season, and we weathered the storm, but there was lightning and wind and thunder, and it was all my dumbass fault.
Well, you guys both seem to be weathering the storm. What relationship advice would you each offer each other, like Craig to Shep and Shep to Craig?
Oh, that's a good question. Shep and Taylor do a lot of things right for each other. I would tell Shep to not lose his way, because things are really good right now. And that's when it's easy to kind of take stuff for granted. So, but if he sticks the course now, they're going to do great, because she really loves them.
Yeah. I would tell Craig to, do his best to maintain with being in different cities, because as you know, that can be a major hurdle for a lot of people, but they've been doing really good in that vein. I mean, it's just been impressive to see them drop whatever they're doing and come and see each other for how many days in a row. And they're never apart for very long. And I think that's the important thing.
That's good advice. What about, since you're in relationships, we have some single cast members on Southern Charm this season. Who do you think needs the most relationship advice out of your castmates?
I mean, I would always say Austen, but
he doesn't listen.
Yeah, he doesn't listen.
Pringle.
Yeah, I mean, our castmates don't listen to anyone. Kathryn's gotten she's got a tough history with her relationships. I think Kathryn, I hope she finds someone that she trusts enough to listen to, because I think she could do better if she really had someone to confide in, like a good example. I don't know if we're those examples.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to say, we've all tried to help guide each other in our life, and well, maybe it has worked. We're sitting here right in front of you and we're not killing each other, so that's the good news.
What about, Paige did an interview where she said Kathryn was one of the people that she felt like most closest to, that just kind of welcomed her into the group. Like, did you